Early on in my Bum to Billionaire series, I showed you guys how the nightclub can be a useful tool to generate some cash in the background while you run around taking people out and blowing stuff up in free roam. But in today's video, I'm going all in. I will prove once and for all that the nightclub is indeed the best passive income source in GTA Online and more. So not just background cash. Instead, we're bringing this business to the foreground for Bum to Billionaire 11, and I'll also share a few secret money grinding techniques with you that Rockstar don't want you to know. So exactly how much cash can we make with the nightclub? Well, stick around till the end to find out. Okay, so here's the game plan. We're gonna keep our popularity maxed out to generate that $50,000 passive cash in our nightclub safe every single in-game day. And then we're gonna assign all 5 warehouse technicians to the correct businesses, so our warehouse generates over $1 million every 20 real-life hours. Well, actually, this week is a nightclub bonus week at the time of me recording this video, so we're getting some extra help from Rockstar here, and instead of 20 hours, it'll actually only take 10 hours to fill up my warehouse since we're running a double production boost. And I'll also get the double money on all nightclub management missions, so as much as I hate those stupid blimps, I guess we'll actually try and run a few promos for my nightclub along the way, because why not? It pays decently well with that double multiplier, and I'll get to experience something that I haven't tried in years, to be honest. Popularity gain has also been doubled, by the way, so that means I won't have to spend ages getting my nightclub back to 5 bars. Right now, as you guys can see, I own the West Vinewood location, and this, in my opinion, is the best one due to its central placement on the map, but also it means we've got a higher chance of running into griefers who mostly hang out in Los Santos. Normally, you'd be doing all your nightclub management in an invite-only lobby, but this is a Bum to Billionaire episode, so I'm gonna prioritize your entertainment over my own sanity and jump into a public lobby just for the memes. And there you go. Just stepped out of my nightclub and someone's already put a bounty on me. $9,000 too. He must be absolutely loaded if he's willing to waste this level of cash even though I'm not in a ghost org. Thankfully, whoever this guy was, he didn't capitalize on his bounty, so I was able to take a nice walk around my nightclub and admire its beauty. After that, I found Gay Tony performing the worst dance moves of all time, and I also noticed that my wall safe is just bursting with cash. But before we withdraw that $250,000, let's head down to the basement and check how my illegal goods are doing. Yep, looks like everything's coming along really nicely here. By the way, if you didn't know this, you can actually get an idea of how much product you have in each category simply by walking around the warehouse and visually checking each room. Like for example, these are my sporting goods from the bunker, aka the illegal black market weaponry. Then over here, we've got some animal products and artwork from my hangar, and these are all the pharmaceutical supplies from my MC businesses, along with cash on a trolley. And this also tells you which businesses I've linked to my nightclub warehouse. I know a lot of people get confused with the names, so let me break it down for you real fast. You see this panel right here? This is your nightclub warehouse management menu that you can access from either the office PC or the warehouse PC. And in here, you'll see that I have a bunch of exclamation marks next to my products. Don't mind those. They are just indicators that my storage is full and I should sell it. Once your storage is full for any given category, you cannot accumulate any more stock in there and you'll basically be leaving money on the table, but that's not what I'm trying to show here. Instead, look at the product names. We've got cargo and shipments, pharmaceutical research, cash creation, sporting goods, and South American imports. Those are the 5 product categories that I've assigned technicians to, and each one represents a business that I own. Cargo and shipments is my hangar. Pharmaceutical research is math. Cash creation is my counterfeit cash factory, sporting goods is my bunker, and South American imports refers to Coca-Cola. The finest Colombian white stuff, if you catch my drift. And you don't actually have to source these products yourself. They automatically pile up in here. All you have to do is link them to your nightclub warehouse and assign a technician from this menu right here to it. As for grass and document forgery, those are the 2 worst MC businesses in terms of payment, both for regular grinding as well as nightclub income. So whatever you do, don't waste your technicians on them, ever. And you can see that they're both empty in my management menu because any product that has technicians assigned to it will either show a technician icon on the side or an exclamation mark when it's full. Also, for all you folks looking to grind the nightclub cargo, forget about the dry ice and the dancers. Instead, spend your cash on equipment and staff upgrades, and definitely buy some extra storage as well because it will let you accumulate more product at a time. I have all 5 floors, so I can easily hold over $2 million worth of product, but in actuality, you should sell as soon as your math, cash, and coke fill up. Those take about 20 hours to hit max stock, and after that, your nightclub won't produce any more of that product. So unless you sell, you're basically cutting your cash per hour in half because now only your hangar and bunker will generate product. By the way, you can swap out the hangar for the CEO cargo warehouse if you want to. They're both classified as cargo and shipments in the nightclub, so use whichever one you like. It really doesn't affect your income on the business end because your nightclub cargo and your business cargo function on 2 entirely different logistics chains, and grinding nightclub doesn't mean you'll lose stock in your hangar or CEO special cargo warehouse. And folks, when you have this kind of stock in your nightclub, you must disband your MC org as soon as you walk out. Or if you're a CEO, retire, because if you don't, this is what happens. This is a raid where you get swarmed by a bunch of NPCs out of nowhere, and if the cops kill you, they will raid your warehouse and seize all your illicit goods. Alright, these guys are definitely undercover agents because they aren't in uniform, and they're rolling up in unmarked SUVs. And folks, that's how you defend against a raid. Stay calm, be precise with your shots, and hope you get lucky like me so the raid happens exactly as you're about to exit the business. Sometimes you'll be on the other side of the map when they raid you, and by the time you get there, half your product is already gone, and that just absolutely sucks. Anyway, it's now time to withdraw my $250,000 from the wall safe. Now, this is genuinely passive income as you don't have to grind supplies or sell anything for this stuff. Just maintain your popularity above 95% and you're rewarded with $50,000 every in-game day. And if you want to learn about popularity management, here's how you do it. Sit down at the PC, select the tab that says Nightclub Management, and start a new promotion mission. Unlike the DJ swap, this stuff is 100% free, you don't have to do any setup missions, and the only thing you're wasting here is your time because these missions are unfortunately quite boring. However, they're on 2x cash in popularity this week, so I guess they're worth it right now. And while the mission itself was quite boring, I got quite a lot of entertainment from this Raiju griefer who tried to follow me around and ruin my day. But it's clear that he's an idiot with zero skills, and then he blew himself up by colliding into my chrome buzzard. I honestly don't know what's more embarrassing here. The fact that he's trying to be a no-life griefer, or the fact that he lost in a Raiju to a buzzard. With a mid-air collision, no less. I mean, if that was me, I'd delete the game right there. Anyways, he wasn't the only griefer in this lobby, because earlier, while I was starting my promo mission with the buzzard, this clown stalked me near my nightclub, and once he pulled out his gun, I decided to pull the plug on his life. Because of all this interference from griefers, my buzzard was smoking harder than Snoop Dogg with a bong, so I laid it down on this hill and hopped into a new lobby for a retry. As you can see, my popularity bar is only halfway full, and this is no good, so we're gonna max it out with this next mission. Okay, this time I apparently have to place posters around the city, and the cool thing about this is that I can just use my Mark II. I got $3,000 with the double money bonus, but that's fine, honestly, because my nightclub popularity is now back to full with just that one mission. And if you guys didn't know, promo missions actually give you around 25% popularity at a time, while DJ swaps only give you 10% popularity. But this time, promo missions are on 2x gains, so I actually got 50% popularity just from that one mission. I then tossed the drunk guy out of my establishment, and I also requested a nightclub goods mission from Johan to fill up my warehouse a lot faster. These missions honestly aren't really necessary most of the time, but I'll do a few anyway because I want to fill up that warehouse as much as possible this week and sell it for the highest amount in a public lobby, hopefully without getting griefed. The game told me to go to Elysian Island, where I found the product on the docks along with a bunch of gangsters guarding it, so I swiftly dealt with them and flew back with the product to my nightclub. Easy peasy, just like that, my warehouse goods are now worth over $1.71 million. We had less than $1.69 million when we started, so I'd say we gained a decent amount of product with that Johan mission. It sucks that we can't do 2 or 3 of these in a row because there's an absurd 20-minute cooldown on nightclub warehouse source missions, but there are still plenty of tasks that we can complete in its place while we wait for our nightclub warehouse to fill up, like payphone hits from Franklin, for example. These are an excellent way to fill up the time between your heist cooldowns, business resupplies, whatever. They pay really well. Look, $45,000 for just 4 minutes of driving around town and pretending to be a police officer. At this point, I realized I was still a CEO, so I immediately retired because I didn't want to fall victim to another raid on my nightclub. Then I requested a security contract, and this one was a gang termination, which is the best type of contract you can get. See, it's as easy as summoning your Mark II, flying to the location, and blowing up all the red dots on your minimap. As soon as you hear the beep, you press the button, and then stuff blows up, and you get paid for it. Okay, not like that, but you get what I'm saying. The Mark II makes missions like these insanely easy to the point where you subconsciously switch your brain off and you're just running on autopilot, waiting for the square to turn red so you can press the button. I destroyed my Mark II, which might have been a good thing because it forced me to put my boots on the ground and fight like a real man with my gun. Also, my infinite armor and health regen. Obviously, it took me a lot longer to eliminate the Vagos captains this way, but it was more fun and a bit of a challenge as well, which I always appreciate. On my way back, some guy blew me up because I was in an NPC car with no way to fight back, so I went off the radar by calling Lester, hunted down this player, and gave him the death he deserved. I then did a dispatch mission for Vincent, where I had to retrieve some data from a gang hideout, and after that, Raph hooked me up with a money laundering mission for my smoke on the water business. I got the mission where you have to torch the grass farms, and this one's a classic here, honestly. You grab some Molotovs, you head out to the farms, you clear out all the opposition with your flying missile bike, and then you wonder why the hell you bothered to bring all those Molotovs when your missiles are already setting the whole place ablaze. But the script is the script, and Rockstar demands that you have to light up the farm with your Molotov cocktails, or else the fire doesn't really count and spread. So that's exactly what I did, and I immediately got a contact high from standing within 20 meters of the grass. But my character is on a flying bike, so he doesn't care. Instead, he heads over to the next farm, kills all the innocent workers, and torches it with some bottles of booze. I did the same for the third and last farm, and this time I ignored all the farm workers and instead focused on torching the grass, which made this farm take a lot less time than the others. Now that I think about it too, I probably should have just done this from the start, but I got caught up in murdering the crap out of everyone because it's just way more fun that way. I then did another nightclub good source mission for Johan, and this one was quite simple. I just had to catch up to this truck, evacuate the occupants, and commandeer it for myself. Then I had a nice, long, and slow drive back to the nightclub where I deposited the goods, and now my warehouse is valued at over $1,740,000. Excellent. Just a little bit more and it'll be ready to sell. I also wanted to try a Johan cooldown skip glitch that I knew for sure worked just a year ago or so I tried it, and for this one, you go to the LS car meet like this. Once inside, head to the test track area, and right as you're about to enter the car, open up your phone and dial Johan's number. Timing is key here, and you want the entering animation to overlap with the call. I succeeded, but unfortunately Johan was busy, so it seems like Rockstar has fixed this glitch after all. Otherwise, it would be super easy just to spam these source missions and fill up your nightclub ASAP. With no other option, I decided to do a few client missions for my terabyte, and because this is a modern GTA Online lobby, some guy blew me up while I was peacefully delivering the gold to the buyers. He then stole my gold and delivered it himself, pocketing most of the cash. I then did another client job where I had to hack some cars and retrieve a few data drives, and this time on my way back, I called Lester to hide my blip from the map. Still, I noticed an oppressor tailing me on the map, so I got out of my vehicle, minigun in hand, ready to greet him. Fortunately, he was just a weirdo, and he stared at me while popping smoke. Then, on his way back, he asserted his dominance by blowing up some innocent animals, almost like he was saying, "That could have been you." Then the two of us edged each other. After some edging, I then decided to take the chance and got back in my vehicle. I was always keeping an eye on my stalker the entire way home, but if he decided to turn on me, there was nothing I could do with the crappy NPC van. Thankfully, he didn't blow me up or anything, and I successfully completed the delivery. I then decided to check in on my acid lab because that way I could generate both nightclub product and acid lab product while goofing around in free roam. I only have $74,000 in acid stock and I'm out of supplies, so I decided to call Mutt and refill. Then I headed over to my bunker and did a quick sell mission for $315,000. I was praying for a single Phantom Wedge, but I got 2 Dune FAVs instead with 5 drops each, and as frustrating as this is, imagine how much worse it could be because I'm in a public lobby right now, and unless these folks in here are really kind, they'll see a nice, juicy, slow-moving, unarmored target on their map, ready to be blown up. I was driving around with my mouse cursor on Ghost Org in the event that I noticed someone creeping up on me. As soon as the initial grace period expired, I slammed the Ghost Org button and raced across the map, making one drop after another. Thankfully, the only enemies I faced during the cell mission were NPCs. I completed all 5 drops with my first Dune FAV, summoned my Mark II, and headed back to base to grab the second delivery vehicle. And just to give you guys an idea of how lucky I am, this is what my lobby looks like. Yep, that's 30 Kasaka submarines piled on top of the Maze Bank Arena, and it's a miracle that I didn't get griefed by some modder while doing my bunker delivery. Still, the coast isn't clear yet. We still have half the product to deliver, and I only have 9 minutes left on the clock. After a bit of off-roading, this too was done, and I headed back to my acid lab to boost the production speed. I then tried to do a Cluckenbell farm raid, but during the very first mission, I was DC'd from Rockstar servers after throwing the sticky bomb, and it kicked me out of the lobby. So I gave it another try, and after stealing the train, I swapped out the DJ at my nightclub, which once again has accumulated $250,000 in cash within the wall safe. After this, I completed the missions for weapons and getaway vehicles, and I resupplied my empty bunker for $75,000. This will ensure that I only get 1 vehicle, so if you guys also want to do it the right way, always empty your bunker before resupplying, then sell once that single resupply has been processed. I then finished the rest of my Cluckenbell run, and I followed it up with a quick no way out heist for the old 1-2 combo, and this made me over $1 million in under 2 hours of work. After that, I sold my bunker, and as you guys can see, I got just 1 Dune FAV this time since I resupplied once on an empty bunker. Safety is of course never guaranteed, but you can always shield yourself with Ghost Org. Never get too bogged down in fights with the NPCs either, because that will just waste your time and leave you open to griefer attacks when you aren't expecting it. NPCs have aimbot and they'll just keep respawning until you deliver all the products, so just ignore them and speed away. After delivering all 5 items, I left the area by hijacking an NPC's Patriot, and even though this guy blew me up at the very last moment, it actually completed the mission for me because I spawned away from the delivery location and I managed to make $330,000 from my solo bunker sale thanks to that public lobby high demand bonus. After resupplying my bunker once more, I sold my full acid lab, which now has $351,000 worth of product ready to go. And as you can see, I've named my product as well, which adds 5% to the overall value. I've got 10 drop-offs to make in this public lobby, but I'm not too concerned because the Manchester Scout C is a super fast bike and I believe it's going to carry me through the whole thing. But this time, it didn't. After killing me, this guy also destroyed all my product, and while I still made $263,000 with this botched sale, I wanted more, so I chased his ass down and blew him up. Then I did it again. My nightclub's still generating product in the background, and my acid lab is all stocked up, so I decided to do a solo Kaio in the meantime. I got the bearer bonds, and I made it out of El Rubio's island with $1,071,000. Then I did another nightclub promo mission and annoyed the residents of Los Santos by flying the stupid blimp over their heads with loud music blaring from my speakers. Somehow this increased their interest in my nightclub and my popularity went up as a result. I also found the time to do a Dr. Dre heist, and soon afterwards I noticed that my acid lab was nearly full. More importantly though, my nightclub warehouse was maxed out, and this meant it was time for a sell mission. In public. Naturally, my Pounder custom is fully upgraded with weapons and armor, as is my Speedo van, but for a delivery of this scale, you'll always get the Pounder. And for this mission, I have 3 drop-offs to make. Of course, everything went smoothly for the first one. My vehicle didn't get stuck in any alleyways, and nobody tried to blow me up. Then the second drop was also quite effortless, with 0 road bumps along the way. But during the third drop, I was chased by this Deluxo griefer, and at first he just followed me around, observing the situation. But then he tried to destroy me, and instead destroyed himself. After embarrassing himself for the first time, he returned with the new Presser Mark II, and caught a rocket to the face. I delivered all 3 crates and made nearly $2 million from this one sale. And for some entertainment after a grueling day of work, I killed Ghost Riley some more, because he still hadn't learned his lesson after trying to grief my delivery and kept coming back for more. After that, I sold my acid and made $514,000 because nobody griefed me this time. This was also the police sting mission, which is the easiest sell mission you can get with the acid lab, and it only involves 1 drop-off, so you can complete it in under 5 minutes, and the time window for people to grief you is also much smaller, which makes it the safest sale mission of them all. While my nightclub warehouse filled up for the second time, I played some more Kaio, a Dr. Dre, did a few client jobs, and delivered my big Zancudos to some very eager buyers for $387,000. After that, I did the FIB priority file for the week, a most wanted bounty, and sold my bunker a 3rd time. As usual, I just got 1 delivery vehicle because I resupplied once, and after that, I also did a salvage yard vehicle robbery. I then did some auto shop work actually, some tow truck jobs for the salvage yard passive cash, some more promotions for my nightclub, and more terabyte client jobs. Then I played some Deadline Duet because that was also on bonus cash for the week, and it was honestly a really refreshing break from the frantic scramble of free roam public lobbies that we've been enduring. Then I sold my bunker for the 4th time, and because I was tired of griefers following me around, I decided to switch things up by running protection detail in a Mark II, while my friend W2RE got into the Phantom Wedge and drove it to the drop-off. Nobody dared to come close because we also had a second Mark II looking out for our guy, and at the end I made $310,000, which is almost 50% more than the $210,000 base product value that we just sold. After that, I sold my acid, but we only got half of it because a hacker showed up to ruin the day, and so I had to settle for just 260 grand. I was kind of tired of all the griefing, so I decided to employ the good old taxi AFK method, where you summon your Sparrow next to the Diamond Casino Raceway, call a taxi to this empty parking lot right here, and when it arrives, you simply set a random waypoint behind the taxi and block the front end with your Sparrow, causing the taxi AI to glitch out, and this will make the game think that you're taking the world's longest taxi ride, when in reality, you haven't moved from the same spot at all, and it won't kick you out of the lobby even when you go AFK for 10 hours straight. If that doesn't work, you can also try the credit screen AFK, where you go into the pause menu, open credits and legal, slow it down until it comes to an absolute crawl, and then you can just stay there for hours. With these 2 techniques, I was able to get a second warehouse full of nightclub product without actually boring myself to death playing the game, and then I sold all $1 million of it in a public lobby with a couple of my friends to back me up. We didn't get any griefers, but my Pounder custom got stuck on the crate, and I had to free it with my freshly acquired Up and Atomizer, which, by the way, you guys should definitely buy whenever it's bullets on rotation at the gun van because it really comes in handy in situations like these, especially when you're using a pounder or some other vehicle that can easily get high centered on random trash along the road. With all that nightclub product sold, I made $1,150,000, which brought my total to $26 million. I started the episode with $13.7 million, so we made nearly $13 million this time, and I'm really happy with that. Next episode, we're gonna grind another excellent business, and this is actually one that I've linked to my nightclub warehouse, and it has the potential to make over $3 million with a single sell mission. So take your guesses on what it is down in the comments. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you found it entertaining and informative. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new and you want to see more GTA 5 online content just like this. Check me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv for more GTA Online money grinding live streams. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Adios, amigos.